We're looking today at the idea of living stones. We find the idea in the Bible in the first letter of Peter, chapter 2. It's a strange idea, living and stones, and yet he's encouraging us to be like this, built on the foundation of Jesus. So what does he mean? Let's look at a story that might give us the startings of a clue. This is The Selfish Giant. It's written by Oscar Wilde. It's a very old story. I'll read you part today. You might like to go and find the book for yourself. Every afternoon as they were coming from school, the children used to go and play in the giant's garden. It was a large and lovely garden with soft green grass. There were flowers that bloomed like stars and 12 peach trees. The children would climb in the trees and the birds would sing, "How happy we are here," they would say. And then one day the giant returned to the castle. He had been to visit his friend the Cornish ogre and had been away for 7 years, but after 7 years was done and conversation was finished, he decided he would return. When he arrived, he saw children playing in his garden. "What are you doing here?" he said in a very gruff voice, and the children ran away. "My own garden is my own garden," said the giant. "Anyone can understand that. I will allow nobody else to be in it but me." So he built a high wall and placed a sign outside, "Trespassers will be prosecuted." He was a very selfish giant, and now the children had nowhere to play. The road was very dusty and full of stones, and they didn't like it. "How happy we once were," they said, wandering past the high wall where the beautiful garden was hidden. The spring came all over the countryside, but not in the giant's garden. Still it was winter. The only things who cared about the winter now was the snow and the frost. They were delighted that the giant seemed to have winter for longer there. They invited in the north wind and the hail, and they came blowing and roaring and rattling around the windows and on the roof. "I cannot understand why the spring is so late this year," said the selfish giant. I hope there will be a change soon." But the spring never came, nor the summer, neither the autumn. "He is too selfish," said Autumn, who gave golden fruit to everybody else, but none to the giant. One morning the giant was lying in his bed, thinking and listening, when he thought he heard some lovely music. "I believe the spring has come at last," and he jumped out of bed and looked out. And what did he see? It wasn't music that he had heard, but the laughter of children. The children had crept in through a little hole they found in the wall, and there they were in the branches of the trees. In every tree that he could see there was a child, and the trees were so glad to have the children back they covered themselves in leaves and blossoms again. In the farthest corner, though, there was a little boy, and there in that corner it was still winter. He was so small that he couldn't reach up to the branches of the tree, and the north wind was roaring all about him. The giant's heart melted when he saw this. "How selfish I have been," he thought. "Now I know why spring never came. I will put that poor little boy up into the tree, and I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground forever." He was really very sorry for all that he had done. So he crept downwards, and he opened the front door very softly and went out into the garden. You can read the rest by yourselves. Look out for who the little boy is, because that is really significant. Living stones. I think the challenge is for us not to be like the wall around the giant's garden. Very easily in our thinking and in our actions, we can put up walls made of stones like unkindness, misunderstanding, and prejudice. We get angry very easily. We feel very afraid. We're worried by people or situations that challenge us or that are different from us. Instead, like the selfish giant, I think we're being challenged to take those stones down. Instead, we're being encouraged to build people up in love and with kindness. So, what will you do? What will you do to be a living stone, creating not a big wall to keep others out, but safe places where anyone can find a place to belong and to feel accepted? May you be blessed by God's love and grace. May Jesus remind you of his ways of kindness and peace and forgiveness. And may you be living stones too. Amen.